Good morning, everybody. I am Luke Smith, the Division Chief of Professional Standards with Sioux Falls Fire Rescue. Excited to have you here today. Today we're going to be talking about Fire Prevention Week. Our topic this year is Charge into Fire Safety. So Fire Prevention Week is this week from October 5th through October 11th, where we bring awareness to a specific topic that hopefully can make things a little bit safer in your home. So with Charge into Fire Safety, we're looking at specifically rechargeable lithium-ion batteries this month, and we really want to focus on the safety that comes with those. So lithium-ion batteries, especially the rechargeable ones, are in a lot of our daily appliances that we use, from our e-bikes to cordless power tools, our laptops, even things like our e-cigarettes, our vapes, and children's toys can have those ion and rechargeable ion batteries in there as well. They're extremely useful. They have a lot of power. They can hold a charge for a long time, but there's also a danger and a risk that can come with these, specifically from the fire side. So when we're looking at these batteries, we have 3 specific tips that we want to focus on this year. And the first one is making sure that you're buying a product that is certified. The reason we get these products certified is it's gone through more of a testing process to make sure that the battery is safe for consumer use, and then it has a little bit more protection behind it. So some of the certifications you can look for is going to be UL, which is the Underwriters Lab, ETL, which is Edison Testing Location. The CSA is going to be the Canadian Standard Association. And so you can usually find these on the bottom of a product or someplace on the box as well. So take a look for those certifications. The second thing we're looking for is going to be that we're charging these devices safely. From a fire side, that tends to be areas that we see fires start. And when we're charging these, one of the big pieces is making sure that our cables correlate with that product specifically. So we're looking for cables that either came with the product or came from the manufacturer itself. So if we're looking at a vacuum cleaner, for instance, I'll use the example, my dog chewed my vacuum cleaner cable a couple weeks ago, so I had to go on and buy a new cable. Well, for the brand that I had, I could have got an off-market product from a website, but I've decided to go through the manufacturer itself just to make sure that that cord would correlate with that battery specifically. The reason we want to do that is to make sure that we don't overcharge the batteries. When a battery gets overcharged, that's when it can start to get heated up. It'll get a little bit warmer, and when it gets a little warmer, that's when we increase the risk of fire. For our smaller devices, things like cell phones, toys, maybe even some rechargeable RC cars, we want to make sure that we put those on a hard surface when we recharge them for the exact same reason. We don't want fires or the battery to get too warm, and if it gets warm, we want to make sure it's on a non-flammable surface. So keeping your batteries off of beds, away from maybe clothing or even like window curtains are things that we want to tend to avoid. Last thing we're going to look at here, so our third point, is making sure that we're recycling these batteries responsibly. And when we get rid of our batteries, we tend to think, I'll throw them in the garbage, it's going to go to the landfill and not cause any problems. Well, we have the exact same problems at the landfill when these batteries aren't recharged or recycled responsibly. A battery can start a fire in the landfill, and that causes a whole different set of problems. So there's different facilities around the area that you can recycle these batteries at. We're looking for home consumers. We have the Sioux Falls Hazardous Waste Facility, and they're located on 1015 East Chambers Street. You can drive right through, drop off your batteries, and they'll be happy to take those for you. It's also important to remember that we store these batteries correctly. So if you're looking at things like a power tool or, again, a rechargeable battery for some type of appliance, we're going to make sure that we keep these batteries at room temperature. So keeping them in your garage, if your garage isn't heated or cooled, is important. Bring those batteries inside to charge. We want to make sure we keep those batteries between the 32 degrees Fahrenheit, so that freezing temperature, and we don't want them to get above 105. So that eliminates a lot of time in the garage that we can keep those batteries in our homes, especially in this region. And then last thing, make sure to keep those batteries out of direct sunlight when they're in your vehicle. So if you have a battery, or maybe you leave your phone in the car, make sure it's not in direct sunlight. So best practice is just to remove those batteries from your car so that they don't overheat and cause problems there. We're going to dig in a little bit more. I'm going to bring up Kyle Blakesley. She's our fire and life safety educator, and she'll be discussing on a few more topics.
Hi, my name is Kyle Blakesley. I'm the Fire and Life Safety Educator for Sioux Falls Fire Rescue. In addition to providing educational opportunities during Fire Prevention Week, Sioux Falls Fire Rescue conducts numerous fire prevention programs across our community throughout the year. Educational programs include smoke alarm safety programs. We can help by providing information on purchasing, installation, and testing of smoke alarms. And we encourage people to check the batteries on their smoke alarms twice a year, test them once monthly, and then when you are changing batteries, it's just good to remember that you can change them during daylight savings times at spring and fall. Another program that we talk about is Close Before You Doze. This is a public safety campaign that is designed to educate people on how to reduce the spread of fire, just by proving that a closed door could potentially save lives in a fire. It's the difference between 1,000 degrees in your home versus 100 degrees with a closed door, so certainly more viable than 1,000 degrees. So to make that easy, you just close your door before you sleep at night. We do a fire safety house for the third grade students at public and private schools in Sioux Falls, as well as in Harrisburg and T. This fire safety house is like a house that we bring to the schools, and we teach students how to escape a home safely in the event of a fire. We have fake smoke, we have the students feel the door with the back of their hands. If it's hot, they're taught not to open the door, and they crawl to their second escape, which should be a window. And then they are taught how to open the window and escape safely. Once they get out the window, they're taught to go to their pre-designated meeting spot and then to call 911 for help. We do a kindergarten puppet show, which is a fun introduction to fire safety. Topics in the puppet show include not playing with matches and lighters, going to get an adult, smoke rises, so we need to crawl low in smoke, stay low in smoke, stop, drop, and roll, and then information on smoke alarms. And that's all through like a fun musical puppet show. We also do WebEx lessons, which are virtual lessons for first, second, and fourth grade. First grade is all about calling 911 and the importance of knowing your address, and then we add on topics of fire safety. Second grade discusses home escape plans, and fourth grade is eating healthy and building healthy habits, that we just add on fire safety topics as the kids get older. These programs are available to 40 public and private schools through Sioux Falls, Harrisburg, and T. We conduct a number of other in-person events, especially during Fire Prevention Week and the month of October. Upcoming events in October include a couple Siouxland story times. We have one at the Ronning Library, October 16th. There's two different time frames, 9:30 and 10:15, as well as on October 17th at the downtown Sioux Falls Library from 10 a.m. to 10:45 a.m. We have two trunk or treat events coming up soon. Jacobson Plaza will be hosting one on October 11th from 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And then PD and Fire will be at the Sioux Falls Canary Stadium October 14th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. So come down dressed in your Halloween best and talk to some firefighters and police officers. As well as October 18th, we have a Deaf and Hard of Hearing open house. This will be hosted at Station 10 and is from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. And we're partnering with Hands and Voices. So if you want to come and experience some fun there, PD is going to be there, Metro Communications, as well as the fire department. Last but not least, fall is a popular time for recreational fires. So please remember to heed red flag warnings by the National Weather Service. Just don't start a fire in a red flag warning, please. We want to keep recreational fires small. Never use gasoline or other combustible liquids to start a fire. In Sioux Falls, a permit is not required for recreational fires. However, we have a city ordinance that applies to these fires. Recreational fires must be contained in an earthen pit with sidewalls, a fireplace, a commercial grill, or other device which will contain the fire. Fuel arrangements shall not exceed 3 feet in diameter or 2 feet in height, and fires must be a minimum of 15 feet from a structure or combustibles. such as a combustible deck, a shed, a fence, house, camper, a pile of leaves, anything that can start fire. We also want to make sure that you have a water source available, such as a hose or a bucket of water, something to put out the fire. And when you do put out the fire, make sure it's out before you leave the fire. Make sure you're only burning firewood or charcoal as well. So with that, we will take questions.